Hi guys, Roseann White from LIVFITT, and today I'm going to take you through a 30-minute core class. And the good news is today we're going to be standing for everything, so you don't need any props. I often use props in classes, but for today, your body is your prop, and that's how it's going to roll. So you can see that I have my Pilates socks on, yoga socks on. You can do this class barefoot. You can wear shoes, wear some comfortable clothes, and make sure you have water and stay hydrated through this. So the first thing we're gonna do, we've got about a series of about 15 exercises. If you aren't sure about anything, just watch it the first time and then you can join me. We're probably gonna be doing about a minute each for each interval. So the rules are, make sure you're breathing, having some fun, feeling good. If anything doesn't feel good, don't do it. So let's start with a posture check. That's how I like to start with all my clients. Now, what does that mean? The first thing is head position. Your hands are going to go behind your head. I interlace my fingers. I put my hands behind my head. When I do that, I push my head back. And you can see my elbows are slightly forward. We're talking core here. The core is anything from the neck to above the hips, but it all starts with your posture and the top of your head. So I'm pushing my head back. And notice when you do that, that slight retraction, you're going to feel your abdominals pulling in, your shoulder blades sliding down, and maybe even you're going to feel more weight in your heels rather than your toes. So we've got great alignment here. So hang out here with me, push your head back, and now let's talk about your breathing. I like to cue breath quite often, but don't get caught up. If you are exhaling when I'm saying inhale, that's fine. Just breathe. I just want to make sure you're not holding your breath. So the recommendation is to breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, like you're fogging up a mirror. And let's do that again. Breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Now feel the breath. It's going to be in your belly and your ribs. Place one hand on your belly button area and one on your ribs, and breathe in and exhale. Tighten up. So you're going to zip up that core, pull up through the pelvic floor. You can also put your hands on the outside of your ribs. So when you inhale, you expand the ribs. Watch my fingers. When you exhale, it's like elevator doors. Inhale, expand. Exhale, close. Let's do that 2 or 3 more times. Breath in and breath out. And again. And out. And now you can see that we've got our breath work and our posture in line. So now we're going to start with a standing roll down. I'm going to show you from the front and from the side. This is a good way to work on the spinal articulation. Now from the side, you can watch me. I'm watching toes, like knees over hips. And I'll put my hands up to the sky, inhale, and then I'll bend my knees and dive over my thighs to hang here. Keep your knees bent well. Take a breath into the back of the ribs. And as you exhale, press until all 4 corners of your feet, tuck the tailbone, pull the ribs up toward the spine, let arms hang long. The head is the last thing to come up, and then that's where you start. So I'll do it from the front. Okay, let's take a big reach up, relax the shoulders, bend the knees, and then let's dive over like you're taking a big dive over a big ball until you come down and look to the right, look to the left. Knees bend as much as you need to maybe let your fingertips rest on the floor. Inhale. And now pull up through the pelvic floor, roll up. Tuck the chin, feel the tailbone drop down, the ears come over the shoulders to that really good alignment. We're going to do that one more time, and I'll do it from the side, just so it shows you a side profile. Inhale up, relax the shoulders, bend the knees, and let's dive over. Exhale. All the air comes out, and you're going to just go ahead and turn your head to the left, to the right, so there's no tension at all in your neck. Take a big breath in, and you're breathing into the back of your rib cage. And as you exhale, look at your feet. Press into your toes, your heels, look towards your belly button, squeeze that belly in, drop the tailbone down. I will reference the collarbones often. The collarbones lift up and the ears come over the shoulders. So that's our standing roll down. Now we're going to go into some side bending. So again, this is all standing core work today, so it should feel really good. Now I'm going to have my feet maybe, here's hip distance, right? I'm going to go a little bit wider than hip distance, and we're going to reach up and we're going to bend to one side and then the other side. Now I'm going to give you options and all this because we're going to do this probably for about 30 seconds. Side to side, that's your option. You can always put your hands behind your head that way. You're not dropping your head forward. And I want you to think that you're reaching that elbow to the sky. Now my hips are not swaying. I'm keeping my hips still. So you might even consider grabbing on the elbows and coming in closer and try it that way. Okay, and you might feel a little more bending. So we're just expanding and expanding. Since we're in a position that works for you, let's hold it for a moment. So bend to one side and really reach, reach, reach. Feel that stretch, feel the contraction for 3, 2. Notice my head is going with me. And 1. Come on up. Inhale. Shoulders relax and exhale over. I often like to hold the towel between my hands, but again, no props today. But I want you to feel the stretch and feel the contraction. Inhale. And now in that stretch area, we're going to work to bring it back and relax. Now from side bend, I like to also add rotation. So check this out. We're going to go ahead and interlace our fingers and we're going to kind of press them forward. I'm going to come up and now my knees will be quite bent here. I'm going to bend to the side. I'm going to drop down and around and up. And then I'll do it the opposite direction. We're going to bend to the side and over and around and up. Our spine works in so many different ways, and we want to have spinal mobility besides strength. Okay, let's do that again. Take a breath in and pull the belly and exhale. Now I'm going to show you this from the side as well so you can see what I'm doing here. Inhale to the side, come around, exhale, and then come back over, hands overhead, and then other direction, and pull the belly in, drop the head, and stretch up. And last time. Great. Roll your shoulders out. Now we're going to go into a little bit more of our pelvic tilt here. It's nice to know how to do it standing, because then when we're laying down, we'll feel a difference too. So belly button in, my tail, I'm in my neutral pelvis here. I've got my arch, my back. I'm going to draw the tail down and then draw the pubic bone down. Put your hand on your belly and your back so you feel it. Okay, tuck, exhale, and inhale. Now, a lot of people use glutes. I want the abs. Pull the belly up and in, and then drop it down. So the back muscles are contracting. Now the abdominals are contracting. I'm not really using my butt muscles. They are active, but it's exhale. Feel this. Ribs separate, and then ribs draw together. Breathe in and exhale. So you can see how my fingers spread apart. The breath is super important. Breathe in. And I have soft knees here. I'm not hyperextending ever. Open. All the air out. Chest is lifted. I'm not changing anything with my head. You can even check to make sure your head is not in the equation. The shoulders are not in the equation. Let's do 3 more. Exhale and inhale. Drop the tail, pubic bone. Pull the belly button up and in. 2 more. And 1 more. Now that was flexion extension. Now we're going to tilt side to side. So my knees will bend. Put your hands on your hips. Side to side. I want you to feel the space. I'm making one side smaller than the other side smaller. It does require knee bending, a little bit of hip flexion. Side to side. Hands on the head now, so you're not shooting anything with the shoulders. Let's go 8 more. Feel one hip bone rising, then the other hip bone rising. Navel in. I got neutral pelvis here, so you can see from the side. I'm not tucked too much. I'm in neutral. That's my neutral. I've got a little arch in my back. 3, 2, and 1. Now, I don't know how old you are, but if you remember the hula hoop, it seems so much easier as a kid. So now we're going to do it kind of our air hula hoop. So that means I want to put my hands on my hips, and I'm going to bring my pelvis forward, side, back, and around. Okay? So just feel that circular motion and around. Great hip mobility, getting some glute working, abdominal work, oblique work. Let's go for 8 more on this side. 7. This should feel really good. And you're going to notice one side might work better than the other. Again, you can also put hands behind the head because then you take the head out of the equation. It's in good neutral position. Last one, hit the brakes. So bring the pubic bone forward to your side, push the tail back to the side and forward. And put hands on the hips to feel that. One hip drops, one comes up. And round it up. And exhale. So you can see my side movement here. Knees are quite bent. Here we go. For 8, 7. You can go slow to really feel it. 6, 5. Use that breath. Half an inhale, half an exhale. Half an inhale, half an exhale. Last one. And release. Good. Shake it up. Okay, so the spine should feel pretty warm by now. Feel really good. And we're going to go into a squat, semi-squat cat-cow. So what that means is hands are on your thighs and you're going to have a flat back. See from the side, my back is flat, okay? I'm going to tuck and then I'm going to arch. So like a gust of wind, someone's punching to the gut. There's that tuck of the tailbone, and then I'm going to push my tailbone, and there's a little ski slope here, okay? So now let's add the head, but it's really about the pelvis. Exhale, look toward the belly button. Inhale. Watch the chin. I don't want the chin to lift. Just gaze at an angle. Exhale, lower, lift, tuck, and lift. Press down and feel your shoulders separate. Then feel them slide back and down. Big breath. For 5. All the way up. 4. 3. How's it feel? 2. Oh yeah, one more time. And roll yourself up. Now that we've got more movement into the pelvis, we're going to add squat with rotation. We'll go wider on this. And notice I'm bringing my feet up wider, knees out. And I'm going to show you kind of on an angle here. That's my squat position, okay? So you don't have to get too low. You can if you want. But my arm work is this. I'm going to push into this thigh and open up. Bring it down and open up. I'm going to follow my thumb. So I'm going to look to the thumb, exhale, breathe in, or do the opposite. Inhale, exhale. Whatever works for you, just breathe. I like to exhale out. And I like the inhale in. But again, that's me. Either way works. And you might notice one side's a little tighter, so stay there a little longer. Enjoy the work of getting the body to rotate, rotate, rotate. And my eyes follow my hand. My head's turning. We're going to do 2 more each way. Back is flat. I'll show it from the side. Come back to neutral and open. There's neutral right there. One more time. Great. Hands above knees, tuck the chin, and round it up. Excellent. So we've gone from the cat-cow to the rotation. Now we're going to do a side stretch. This is, you can again bend as deeply as you want. And if you feel it's too much in the arms, you can grab a towel and hold it. But let's do without any props today. Okay. So I'm going to squat and pivot. Look at my back foot that's turning up. I squat and I reach. Squat down, bend, and pivot. Inhale. Breath is powerful. You're gonna feel the heart rate coming up a little bit on this one. And reach. I'm trying to get my arms right aligned with my ears, coming down and rotating. Again, your bend can be as big as you want, as little as you want. Let's do 2 more each way. In the middle, push it up. Last one. Great. Excellent. So now we're going to go into a little bit more standing into a high, with working our lower abs. Most of the time in this next exercise, I feel people use their hip flexors, but right above the hip flexors, right where the hip bones are, that's the transverse abdominis. I want to really work that nature's girdle, okay? So put your hands behind your head. Take a breath in. A little bit of balance here. You're going to breathe in, exhale. Now, how high should you bring your knee up? Well, I like it as high as your hip. Butt is back. Maybe put your hands on your hips or on your pelvis to feel the belly air coming out. Okay? Exhale. If balance is a challenge for you today, find a wall. It's okay. Okay? So I want you to get that knee up. And exhale. I'm pushing my butt in as my knee plugs into my hip socket. So I'm not going to fall back because I've got the wall there. I can put my hands behind my head and press into it. It's going to really work in my posture muscles, which are my core muscles. Right? So let's do a few more, whatever strategy works for you. I'm going to go back to this. Yep. All there out. Now from high knees, I'm going to add some rotation and flexion. Gently place that foot down. Watch the hips don't hike, okay? So always check into that you're not tilting. Now here's the rotation of this. I'm going to rotate and add a knee. Place the foot down, relax. Rotate, add a knee. Take your time. It's a diagonal move. I'm not trying to tap elbow and knee. I'm simply adding hip flexion and upper shoulder, upper spine rotation. Again, if you feel that today balance isn't so great and you're concerned about it, so that way I can't really get my one shoulder back, but at least I get the feel of the rotation. Maybe step away from the wall a little bit and let that elbow touch. That's probably better. And exhale. Let's go 4. Whoa, see, I lose my balance too. It's okay. Place it down. Find your feet. 3. Plant your feet. 2. One side always works better, just how it is. 1 more each way. Excellent. So roll the shoulders up. And we're going to try to do another movement, which is going to be side knees. So if I put my hands on my hips to start, and I'm going to turn my toes out, I'm going to bring one knee up. Watch my toes. I'm going to point my toes down. One knee up, other knee up. So I'm using a little more obliques here. You can see how that hip shortens, right? Knee up. Now I'm going to add on to this. Knee up. I'm going to side bend, pause. Side bend, pause. Exhale. My head goes with me. I bring it back and stack. Always find your balance before you move again. We've got 4 more each side. Drop the shoulders, lift the knee. And 3. How's that feeling? 2. Take water breaks anytime, pause anytime. If it's too much, last one each way. and release. Roll the shoulders out. Oh, so what I'd like to do now is work again on the roll down a little differently. We kind of did a little bit of a roll down before. This one's going to be different. So now, if you look at my posture, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, knees, hips over knees, knees over ankles. I'm going to show you what not to do. Most people start dropping their butt back and look where my hips are in relation to my neck, my ankles. That's pretty typical. And it has a lot to do with tight hamstrings and lower back stuff. So work with me on this one. And practice does make better, not perfect. So I'm going to tuck my chin to my chest. I'm going to feel my ribs dropping down and squeezing into my hip bones. Your head weighs 6 to 8 to 10 pounds, so that's going to be pretty heavy. If your hamstrings are tight, you bend your knees, but you want that head to come over. Now, you will feel like you're on your toes a little bit, and that's okay. You're not going to fall forward, but you're going to drop your head and come down as low as you can. And maybe you come toward your fingertips. Again, bend the knees if you need to, but we're working on a little bit of stretching the hamstrings. Now we're going to roll up. We're going to tuck the tailbone, tuck, 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 pull the ribs in, and bring your head up. If you found that hamstring were really screaming at you, do a half roll down. And let's do that together. Chin to chest. Feel like there's a water pouring over your toes from the top of your head. And the arms can hang right here. And then you're going to tuck the tail and roll up and stack your shoulders. There's a lot of core that or abdominals in that. Let's do that again. Chin to chest. Crown head reaches over the toes. Quads are engaged. Arms are going to hang. There's a roundness up in my back here. Okay, I don't want to strain it, but I want to pull the belly in and restack. Okay, let's do one more. Chin to chest, soft knees. Ribs are contracting, or abs are contracting. Maybe now, if you've done a couple, you can come down a little more. Hang, breathe in, and press down into your feet. Feel the glutes fire up. And come back up. And relax. Perfect. And lastly, what I'd like to do is one more exercise before we bring everything home, is the back extension. Now, back extension, and a lot of us don't have that nice sweeping back. Some of us have too much of it. But I need to make sure that you have somewhat of abdominal engagement. I don't want you to throw your belly out, okay? There's no support there. So abdominals are pressed in, okay? Hold them in, bend the knees, tuck the chin, and then keep the abs braced and let the head drop back. Now, maybe you need some head support. Bring a hand behind the head and let the eyes gaze to the sky. Pulling the belly in, feeling the glutes firing up here, okay? Now, that's one option, and it may not be for you. So here's another one. Your hands are going to be right at the waistband, and you're kind of spreading your fingers wide over the butt, okay? Tuck the chin in, pull the belly in, and look toward the chest, and extend through the spine. There we go. So we're stretching the hip flexors, and we've got some support. We're not throwing our head back at all. That's one option. Well, I gave you the first one. That was the second one. Third option, fingertips. Now, this is a huge stretch for your fingers and your shoulders, but don't discount it. Give it a shot, because the more you do this, the more you'll get your hands. I'm pressing into my middle back, and I'm going to press down and let my head drop back and open up my chest. And then I tuck my chin and bring it back up. So those are three options. Let's do two more, your option. I'm going to go ahead and reach my hands up. Inhale, hands go behind the head, elbows forward. Exhale, pull the belly in and lean back. Take a nice big breath in. Let the chest lift up and come forward. And again, you got one more. Whatever option you want. I'm kind of liking I love supporting my head. That way I'm not going to strain my muscles, but yet support them. Knees bent, tailbone drops, chest lifts, and head is supported. Take a nice big breath, and you can bend the knees a little more, drop that head a little more, and let the heart lift up and squeeze the glutes and roll it out. So we're just going to kind of take you down with a little bit of a rotation work. Let the body swing, let the hips swing, let the head move. loosen everything up here. So that was your standing core workout today. I hope it was helpful. You don't need any props. You just need about 30 minutes to move your body from head to toe. Make sure it feels good for you. Take your time. Maybe do parts of this video. If you have any questions at any time, all you need to do is contact me. You can message me on any of the mobile devices. You can catch me, email me at info, I-N-F-O, at Roseann, I'll take that back, info at LIVFITT, LIVFITT.com. That's info at LIVFITT.com, info at LIVFITT. If you have any questions, email me. I'm happy to answer them for you. You can also text me. My phone number is 602-717-4771. I am so grateful that you are here joining today. Check my website out, LIVFITT.com, and you can learn a little bit more about me and all the services I offer. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you feel great. Make sure you stay hydrated. It's real important when we're working our joints, our shoulders, and our hips, and all that. We've got a lot of lymphatic fluid we're pushing through, and we want to move the junk out and put good stuff in. So that's all I've got today. Thank you again for joining me. Have an amazing today. Remember, live fit and we age well. Bye for now.